Game of Thrones needs more naked men. So recently in Vulture, the author of the piece, Matt Zoller Seitz, brought up a really interesting point. He says, where are all the naked guys in Game of Thrones? Especially because Game of Thrones has a lot of nudity, but they're all naked chicks. So he says, I'd like Game of Thrones to enlarge the scope of its fantasy, to show more same-sex couplings and male nudity. Thoughts, Fibers OS?
But women are prettier.
What is Game of Thrones?
There are gays and butts.
Yeah.
In comparison.
No, you're right.
There are gays and butts. There are gays and butts. There are gays and butts.
I'm not doing that.
Bring on the full Monty. And I've used that 5 words before, but I like it. So let's talk about, first of all, do you think that there's too much sex and nudity in Game of Thrones?
No.
When I read this, I was like, oh, I can see that there's a lot. But my roommates will watch Spartacus, and Spartacus is fucking ridiculous.
And they do a lot of same-sex couplings.
Yeah, Spartacus, there's willing and unwilling same-sex couplings. And it's like 4 words, stab and stab. Like, that's it.
So it's like Spring Breakers.
It's like Spring Breakers in togas. If you're asking for a dong shot in Game of Thrones, like, I haven't seen like a full-on
Dong
vulva
shot?
shot. Like, I'd say that showing a guy's wiener is the same as showing like a vulva. Like, getting up in there.
Oh.
Like,
How do you liken the two? How do you figure?
just because that's your
Please
genitals.
enlighten us.
They're the same. It's your genitals. It's your vagina and your
So,
penis. But like, that's the thing, is they're like, oh, where they see so many boobs. It's like, yeah, there's plenty of guys with their
First of
shirts
all-
off. There's plenty of naked man ass
but
in that show.
generally speaking, there's a whole lot more naked chicks than men. So is Game of Thrones sexist? Because or is this just Hollywood?
What do you want? You want to see his dick?
I want to see.
That's what you're asking.
No,
is
but
to see
here's
his
the thing.
penis.
It's not even about me. It's about the rest of the audience. There's a lot of people out there, whether they're gay, whether it's like older women, that want to see the guys schlong, as well as some same-sex couplings. And for that, yeah, obviously Game of Thrones is more of a heterosexual male audience.
Right.
But let's try to please everybody here. Let's try to please the gays. Let's try to please some of the women that want to see some dong.
One of the Baratheons is gay.
Yeah.
And he has, the whole thing is he sleeps with his wife's brother.
Yes.
Don't you see? It's
Yes,
there.
it's there.
Calm down.
So generally speaking, though, with like other movies or TV series, especially like HBO, Showtime, when they have like the nudity and all that, do you guys think that that's a big part of their ratings? Like, people tune in because they know that they're going to see like boobs and ass and.
Probably.
Yes.
Yes. I'm like, if it serves the piece, and I'm thinking of Game of Thrones, and I'm like, the demographic is probably like straight men.
It is,
Yeah.
So I'm like,
much.
why? You guys aren't gonna want to see dong. Like, you want to see titties.
Exactly.
So that's what you're getting. For me personally, do I need more male nudity?
I
no.
don't need more. Yeah,
I'm
I
good.
agree with you that. I don't want people to misinterpret me. I'd rather see a naked chick. Because chicks are
So I can
more beautiful
berate
to
my
look
own
at.
body. I'll look at you and feel terrible about myself.
But here's the thing about it. Game of Thrones is great because it's a lot like Girls, where it's like women are every shape and size on that show.
Yeah, it's true.
not just like the
It
hot
is.
women. There are some like beat women that are totally nude.
A female's figure is a lot more appealing to look at than a male's genitalia. Just saying. But I'm just
For
trying to
reasons we
represent.
talked about on the show.
Exactly. But I think, like, as far as like the author of this Vulture piece, I think he has a really good point, especially from like the same-sex couplings and like for some gay male audience members, they probably want to see a little something too. So first of all, this is coming from our executive producer because I don't like saying this. Does it matter if the dong is flaccid or erect?
Of course it matters. You could be a grower, not a shower.
Erect
I'm not
or
commenting
flaccid?
on this.
I think-
Skip.
Pass.
Skip.
Erect.
There is no passing.
Or flaccid.
No passing.
I would say flaccid on TV.
Flaccid.
No, yes.
Flaccid.
No, yes.
Erect or
I
flaccid?
say if it serves the piece. I'm taking.
Steal her
I'm
words.
stealing your words.
No, I'm
It's
with
funny.
you.
What
I
about
love.
you though?
I
if you were
retract.
on the show, would
Oh,
you
dude.
rather have your penis be flaccid
Oh no!
or
I
erect?
like how we live in this Cartesian dualistic society where it either has to be rock hard or super
What about
duper
you,
floppy.
Tom? Would you rather see flaccid or erect?
So uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. That's exactly what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay.
It doesn't have to be either or. You spend some time. You're like, I'll be with you in a second, and then you have someone come over and like do a
Fluff
dance,
it.
and then you're like, all right, I'm good. Let's do it. Turn on the heater, because if it's cold in here, that's working against us.
So what do you guys think about Game of Thrones? Do you think that there should be more male nudity, more same-sex couplings? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you all next time on Pop Trigger.